What is going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans, and of course college football fans everywhere? Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video. So much to talk about, whether it's Arkansas, what they accomplished or didn't accomplish against Texas State. Again, the state of the SEC East, and of course looking ahead at Texas A&M. What does Arkansas got to do to get past to get that Texas A&M monkey off their back? We'll talk about that in a little bit more. Let's go. And, of course, you guys know what to do, too, at the end of the video. Please like, comment, share this content that you're watching. And if you haven't already, tap the subscribe button down below. Let's start off with the SEC, how they fared in Week 3. Let's go over the scoreboard really fast in the SEC. Arkansas taking on Texas State 42-3. Alabama came back in the second half, as most teams seem to do against Ole Miss, and found a way to win 48-43 over the Ole Miss Rebel Land Shark Bears, whatever they call themselves these days. How about Tennessee taking on Ohio 28-19? Again, Tennessee looking just like, yeah, we're here to play football, but we're not really enthused about it. I don't know what's going on in Tennessee. The SEC East is wide open. Luckily for them, they're going to take on Florida. Florida's going to be without Del Rio, the quarterback. If Tennessee isn't one of the luckiest teams in college football, I don't know who is. Georgia, talk about luck, would hang on and beat Missouri 28-27. Texas A&M on the road against Auburn. This is Arkansas's next opponent, the Texas A&M Aggies. Would win this one 29-16. Mississippi State on the road against the number 20 ranked LSU Tigers. Mississippi State, the 1-2 Mississippi State Bulldogs, nearly won this ball game. They scored 17 points in the second half, but it wasn't enough. The LSU Tigers hung on to win that one 23-20. Florida Gators, of course, we know that Del Rio was out. Now, Del Rio didn't exactly have a great game. He was 14-25, 186 yards and a pick. But nonetheless, the Gators would win this one without Del Rio in the rest of the game, 32-0 over North Texas. Vanderbilt would get smashed against Georgia Tech, 38-7. South Carolina over East Carolina, 20-15. Kentucky putting up some offense, 62-42. Not a whole lot of defense there, but that's your scoreboard for Week 3 in the SEC. Just a little bit of an update on Del Rio, Florida quarterback Del Rio, who took a nasty shot in the North Texas game. He's expected to be out only 2 to 3 weeks. So the good news is it's not a season-ending injury. It's just 2 to 3 weeks. What sucks is Tennessee's the luckiest team in college football. They barely get by 3 scrubs, and now they get to play the best team in their side of the conference without their starting quarterback. I feel for Florida. I really think if they're the only team in the East, watching them now these last 3 weeks, they're the only team in the East I feel like could actually compete in the SEC West. What I'll say about the SEC East is right now, coming out of Week 3, going into Week 4, you suck. SEC East is garbage. I mean, I'm not saying that. Call me biased all you want. You bring the entire conference down a peg. Now, this could change. End of the year, last couple of games, we could be talking about how the West has fallen. How the mighty West has fallen. I know it's going to happen. This happened a couple of years ago when the West struggled. I think they went 2-4 or something in their bowl games. I think Florida or the SEC East had went undefeated or something in their bowl games, and of course the East fans were like, "Oh, we told you SEC West is overrated." But tell me what you do week to week when it matters. To me, bowl games matter, but when you're talking week to week in that grind, your side of the conference sucks right now. And again, it could change. And it should change, because looking at a lot of these teams at the end of the year, you don't play anybody outside of Florida playing Florida State. Tennessee's their schedule's finally about to get a little bumpy for them, but they're going to lose to Alabama. Let's just chalk that up. They're going to lose to Alabama. I don't think they have a prayer against Alabama unless somebody gets hurt. That's what I'm going to say right now. SEC East, you suck. That's where I'm going to finish it. Prove me otherwise, and when you do, I'll talk about it. But right now, you suck. Okay, we're going to get into Arkansas, kind of what they did against Texas State, and then looking forward at Texas A&M and what Arkansas's got to do to get past that game. Let's talk really fast about the Texas State game and some of the positives, and the only negative, the one negative I took from that game. Start with the first positive. They played 4 quarters of football. Start to finish, I feel like this is the first time all year that they played a complete game, and that's huge. You needed that. I don't care who you played it against, who you did it against. You needed that for confidence going in against, one of the top 15, top 12 teams in the country, Texas A&M, especially when you're, let's face it, this is a road game, and it's a road game for A&M too, but I'm sure it's more of a road game for them, like us going to Little Rock. Brett Bielema's talked about before, going to Little Rock kind of feels like an away game. I'm sure A&M kind of feels the same way about going to the house that Jones built in Arlington. But for Arkansas, way more of an away game. So it's important that you're able to not only obviously get past TCU, the way they came back and beat Louisiana Tech, and then to play a complete game like they did against Texas State means a lot. Another big positive for me was Austin Allen. He looks like he could do no wrong. He threw 2 picks against Louisiana Tech and then has never looked back. He's just playing at a higher level. He's completing some unbelievable throws. He showed us a little bit of deep ball against Texas State with Keon Hatcher, which should have resulted in a touchdown. I feel like that was robbed of Keon Hatcher and Austin Allen. But he's playing so much better. I do feel like he's playing at a higher level at the age and as a junior than Brandon Allen was. Austin Allen looking really good. The one negative I'm going to take away, and it's more of a negative overall in the year more so than in the game, trying to figure out where they're at on the offensive line. Some teams are still trying to move a one guy around, right? One position they may have some questions about, 2 at the most. I feel like Arkansas, they're looking at their offensive line, and they're looking at 3 positions, and they just don't know who to put on the field. That worries me. These are the types of issues. When we talk about 2 or 3 positions, those are the types of issues you need to get ironed out. If not in spring, then in fall camp. That's when these things need to get ironed out. And we're going into week 4, and it's still an issue. When you look at what they have to play ahead against with Texas A&M, how good they are up front, and the rest of the SEC, that's the one area – or it's not just the one area, it's one of many areas where the SEC is deep and talented, and you don't have the offensive line put together going into conference play. They better tighten that up quick to get ready for A&M. Another positive, and he's looked good now for 2 straight weeks, is Pulley, number 11, the cornerback, the D-back. He's looked great. He's breaking up passes. Now he's got a pick 6 on his resume. He's looked unbelievable so far, and he looked really good, obviously, with the pick 6 against Texas State. Really impressed by that. Let's look forward to the A&M game. What does Arkansas need to do to get by Texas A&M? It's real simple. Look at the Texas Christian game. Look at TCU. Don't collapse in the 4th quarter like they did against TCU. Again, like all games, play a complete game, eat up the clock. To me, if you don't have double-digit plays and 4.5, 5.5, 6-minute drives, you're doing it wrong to beat a team like A&M. That's just all there is to it. And every drive needs to end in some form of scoring, not missed opportunities. You can't leave points on the field against a team like Texas A&M. It's as simple as that. I say simple. It's always easier said than done, right? This game is the telling game. To me, this is the game that's going to tell us a lot about the Arkansas Razorbacks and what their potential is. And I said the TCU game wasn't, and I still feel like that was the case. I still feel like TCU, it told us that Arkansas was better than the media said they were, but this is the game that will tell everybody where Arkansas stands in the SEC. Who knows what happens after this game, win or lose, but it's for obvious reasons, and for more than obvious reasons, it's a very important game. Guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to comment down below, slap a like on the video, share the content on social media, Facebook, Twitter, however. Shout out to Ashley. I saw that she shared my last video on Facebook. So cool. Thank you so much. And, of course, if you haven't already, tap the subscribe button down below. Guys, that's it. Stay kind to one another. Peace.